Welcome back to Desert Sun Crypto. I am your host, the Desert Sun. Man, oh man. There's sometimes in history where there are people who just rise up and they just come in at the right time. For me, I'm pointing right at John E. Deaton, or John Deaton, as most people know him as. He has single handedly given me hope in this whole XRP SEC lawsuit. Why? Well, before what I'm about to show you, he assembled thousands of holders in the XRP army to attempt to intervene as holders into the SEC case, which he's been successful at having an amicus brief from XRP holders or friends of the court. Last night he dropped this, which is a timeline of all the shady stuff that has happened from 2017 leading up to this lawsuit. And I've thought about this. I never thought someone would put it together, and I don't mean to say that I thought about doing this, but what I mean to say is, in hindsight, after looking at this, it's like, was it this simple to lay out everything? There's about 25 pages or entries that he put from 2017 going forward. If you look, I liked every single one of them. I loved every single one of them. What's at stake here is something bigger than just the SEC going after Ripple. This is really going to be, and I've said this before on this channel, this is probably the most important court case, the most important anything that's happened within the crypto space. And no one is talking about it. No one until as of recent. John Deaton had gone on Fox and Friends, and he gave an interview, and I actually might just, for the sake of it, just, yeah, let me jump over and show you. So John Deaton had gone on Fox, and this is, to my knowledge, the first time I've heard anyone bring up this lawsuit that the SEC lobbied, lobbed the way of XRP. And here's it's a little snip of his interaction there with Charles Gasparino and Cheryl Kazone.
And haven't read about you in the past going after major corporations. This is a class action suit, I believe, against the Securities Exchange Commission. Am I right about that?
Yes, right now it's a motion to intervene into the SEC versus Ripple case.
So what made you get into it?
Well, first off, I want to thank you, Cheryl, for having me. And when I say thank you, I'm not just saying thank you on behalf of myself. I'm saying thank you on behalf of 22,000 XRP holders who have joined this fight against.
And I will add, today we're up to about 38,000. I'll say to anybody who's listening to, you don't have to be an XRP holder. There's hundreds that are jumping on that understand what's going on. Let me just show you some more of this, and then I'll get into it, because he does, toward the end, get into some of the specifics of what he lays out in this tweet.
Is to allow us to prove that the XRP that we purchased is not only not a security, we also didn't enter into a common enterprise with Ripple.
Right.
Because Ripple's went on record to say that they owe nothing to XRP holders. They have shareholders, and the SEC is clearly not acting on our behalf. So we just want to speak for ourselves.
You mentioned conflicts of interest. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. Jay Clayton was.
Here we go. Here's in short what he's going to put. Once I'm going to dive into this, but here's what he says to Charles Gasparino.
Was the head of the SEC that brought the case. A guy named Bill Henman was then at the head of corporate finance for the SEC, who played a role, I guess, in the case. You believe that those two gentlemen, who, by the way, we've reached out for comment, they say no, they don't want to come on. So just so you know, I've tried to get them to give their side of the story. You think that they filed these cases and they have huge conflicts of interest. Can you explain some of that?
Sure. Well, here's what you have. You have Jay Clayton, who was the chairman of the SEC. His law firm represents Ethereum co-founders and competitors to Ripple. Bill Hinman worked for Simpson Thacher. It was a board member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. And while he was working at the SEC, he was having private meetings with these Ethereum investors and collecting $15 million while working at the SEC from the firm that's on the board of the Ethereum Alliance. After all these private meetings, Charlie, he gives a speech that declares Ethereum not a security.
And that's it. Obviously, show some other stuff going on. This is from October 1st, about a week ago, which leads us here. This is from 10/10 when John Deaton put this out. And I ended up sharing this with all the senators and representatives in my state. But it goes to March 23rd, 2017, where Clayton, John Clayton, agrees to recuse himself from voting on any matter related to his law firm's clients. That is key. We go on forward, where Lubin and Consensus announced the Brooklyn Project. December 2017, Hinman has a meeting with Lubin and Consensus. December 2017, Matt Corvo Consensus state that they are building an alliance with the SEC. January of 2018, Clayton meets with Andreessen Horowitz. And March 2018, Brett Garlinghouse speaks publicly about Ripple using XRP to replace SWIFT. March 26th, so later that month, Perkins Coie sends Hinman the memo and safe harbor proposal. The only crypto asset mentioned in the safe harbor is Ether. March 2018, Ether investors meet secretly with Hinman asking for a regulatory free pass from the SEC. April 2018, meeting leaked to Nathaniel Popper reports Ether investors seek a non-security designation from the SEC. Why do they want to do that? We'll find out. Gary Gensler, before he was in SEC, comments that Ripple, ETH, crypto need more regulatory clarity. Now we have times changed. Anyways, SEC meets again 2018 with Lubin and Consensus. 2018 of May, Liz Clareman show Gasparino reports the Brooklyn Project and Consensus, along with Ethereum Joseph, are working. This is Joseph Lubin, by the way. I'll pull up his. He's a co-founder of Ethereum. Are working closely with regulators to create a self-regulatory body being sanctioned by the SEC. The Brooklyn Project attempts to correct Gasparino's report. Gasparino rebukes this attempt and tweets out he knows what he was told by Andrew Keys about the SEC. May of 2018, Lubin says that he is making great strides with regulators. May 2018, Lubin claims that he can issue tokens in ways detailed in Hinman's speech, which hasn't happened yet. June of 2018, this is Mike Novogratz, close friends with Lubin, says he will bet dimes to donuts the SEC will declare present-day Ether not a security. The speech is 9 days away. Novogratz also predicts the SEC will soon pick a token and go after it. I wonder what that token will be. The speech was attached to 63 emails. Consensus meets with SEC again in June 2018. Later that month, a memo analyzing whether XRP security is passed among SEC staff. Also that month, Hinman's speech declares putting aside the fundraising of Ether's ICO, Ether is not a security. After Hinman, Lubin appears on the same stage claiming he wasn't able to read through Bill's entire speech and asked if Hinman spoke about XRP at all. Bullshit. The moderator responds that XRP wasn't mentioned. Lubin replies, "That's interesting." Brad Garlinghouse notes Coinbase announced it was listing ETC 2 days before the speech. Lubin tells Domino he believes Ripple is massively overvalued. Lubin says, "I drove lots of legal work, got a piece of paper in our pocket before we launched the token sale." 2018, Lubin praises the SEC, claims he's given a pretty high quality clarity regarding crypto. Lubin adds that Clayton indicated they wouldn't be grandfathering anybody in, that securities law issues were pretty close to being resolved. September 2018, Lubin warns reckoning is coming. Then Gensler describes XRP as a currency in the banking sector. Lubin says he escaped ETH being unregistered security by creating a reality through words. On and on and on and on. I'm going to jump forward to where we know things start looking and feeling weird and bringing everything up to date. January 2019, Coinbase meets with the SEC and informs them they have run XRP through their securities framework. Coinbase and its lawyers conclude XRP is not a security. That's what I said. That is right. And informed the SEC it plans to list XRP, but wants to make sure it's not running afoul of U.S. security laws. SEC does not state it believes XRP to be a security. On February 28th, 2019, Coinbase lists XRP for trading. June 2019, Ripple buys 9% stake in MoneyGram, with the SEC's full knowledge that Ripple will transfer XRP to MoneyGram. Jumping ahead to August, because we know what happens here. So this is August 2020. Consensus acquires Quorum. Lubin says a Quorum. His Quorum acquisition offering is an interbank information network, and that's similar to what SWIFT does. It has a consensus support JP Morgan's own stablecoin, JPM Coin. October 2020, Lubin admits that he has regulatory advantage and claims Bitcoin and Ether arrived before regulators were paying attention. Some more bullshit. We were fortunate enough to frame our token as a utility. October 2020, One River bets $1 billion on Bitcoin and Ether. November 2020, Vitalik Buterin states, "We are getting rid of the network's proof of work mechanism and replace it with the entirely based on proof of stake. It admits it's still a leap that people have to take." December 22nd, 2020. This is the important date. Shot heard around the world walking out of the SEC. I said John Clayton before, but Jay Clayton votes for and directs the case against Ripple, his client's competitor. And contracts with Ripple, including all secondary market sales with no connection to Ripple. Clayton goes to One River to push Bitcoin and Ether. This is in this comes later. This is this comes after he leaves the SEC. At the SEC, Hinman collected $15 million from his law firm, a board member of the EEA, and is now partner at Andreessen, $2.2 billion crypto fund. These are the facts. They are not in dispute. This is right, folks. I know I breezed through it, and hopefully, you're able to follow. You can always go here and check out John Dean's tweet. This is absolute fire, and I'll tell you, as I'm going through this just pisses me off more and more, because it's the same people saying the same things, and none of it, and no one's holding these folks accountable. This is the SEC. They're in charge of regulating everything in the financial world. And this is what you've got. It's like the Keystone Cops. Now, backing up, you've got Gensler, who is speaking one way before he arrives at the SEC, and afterwards just picks up supporting his boy Jay Clayton, who Jay Clayton and both Bill Hinman are making millions off of suppressing and XRP and putting their head in the ground when it comes to Bitcoin and Ether. It's absolutely, as I've said twice before, absolute bullshit. Hopefully that doesn't get this taken down, but it is. It's complete bullshit. John Deaton's calling it on behalf of everyone, and hopefully people are taking notice, because it's not like people haven't known this for the last year and a half. And as it slowly is going to go through channels, the way I see this playing out is as it picks up momentum and more people are starting to say, oh my gosh, like, I didn't know all this happened. It'll come up with a settlement. In the meantime, it's damaged business relationships with Ripple. It has distracted real pressure to be put on Ether and Bitcoin during this time. And, it's no, I say this all the time. I hold XRP. And as someone who holds XRP, it's just frustrating knowing its utility and knowing where this is going to go, and just kind of having this feeling as though, like, is this just going to be just how this information is released? And how people are trying to, like, get their bearings straight and figure out everything in the crypto space, and you hear these lawsuits and people say, oh, well, this isn't worth jack because it's, going through litigation with the SEC. It just leaves things so convoluted. And then there's the bigger picture of companies wanting to move forward, not having any clarity, which Gary Gensler will say repeatedly is something that they have. No, we do not. And it's, if this is facts, then ultimately everything else that has been outside of it isn't clear. And if this isn't the most clear timeline that I've seen, holy cow. I'm just blown away by the effort put in by John Deaton. I'm hoping this gets picked up and run with, because this is certainly a compelling case for an investigation to happen into both Hinman and Clayton. Nothing more than I would love to see that happen. Anyhow, a lot to cover. I dedicated to one thing, and hopefully this doesn't just kind of overdo it. But I look at this, and every single day I'm hoping that this case is dropped and we move forward, or we at least get some clarity. Because the other thing to think about is, if it drops, then it really, and nothing's added to it from the court or from the SEC, it will be as if time stopped for a year and a half and just time was wasted. So I'd like to see something come out of this. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts on this. Certainly give John Deaton a follow if you haven't, as well as myself, the Desert Sun. That's going to do it for this episode. Tune in next time. You guys take care, and keep tuning in.